I thought that our team, I really thought that the preparation the last 2 days and 3 days in practice, going into practice, not knowing who was healthy, who was sick. The flu's been running through us, and that started back in Dallas, really, to be honest with you. And we've had some guys that it's taken down, and we had limited numbers and limited bodies in practice. But the guys that were out there prepared. They got better. We made some tweaks and some changes to our defense that needed to happen to allow us to be more aggressive, and they got better. And I think that's why the result was what it was. The communication in the timeouts and in the huddles. Michael Stedman, I've been on him just about playing with a level of aggression and playing with passion. I thought he lost that a little bit, and there's no question he got that back and went out there and did that, and proud of him. We've been on Javon about some things off the floor, and again, it's nothing to do with him. He's not a bad kid, but being a student athlete, there's a lot that comes with that, and it's easy to get behind in school too. A degree from the University of Massachusetts carries a lot of weight, and we want all of our guys to be able to achieve that. And he did what was asked of him, after these last 10 to 12 days, to put himself in a much better position there, and proud of him to respond that way. So I thought our team really came together and went out there and played with tremendous effort, great attitudes, and I thought that started really, the 3 days in practice. We got back from Dallas. We had a 4:30 a.m. flight 4:30 a.m. wake-up call, 7 a.m. flight out of Dallas on Sunday, flew back, took Sunday and Monday off, got back to work on Tuesday, but had several guys that were down and out. Then did some individual instruction on Wednesday, several guys down and out, and then we got a couple guys back, a couple more guys went down and out, and then the preparation Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from the guys that were in practice was through the roof.
When did you anticipate feeding Michael Stedman as much as you did, whether it be in the pick and rolls or just the entry passes?
Well, he's so good down there, and when we're running our continuity, not that he's not a good three-point shooter, because I think he's capable of shooting threes, but a lot of times when we get into our continuity offense, we want Greg, we want Trent up there in those two spots, elbow area extended, because they're good three-point shooters. But within that continuity, and we've done it before with other post players that I've had here, when you get a guy that can really score with his back to the basket, he can stay low, and when the ball's thrown across the free throw line, he can duck in. And we've been spending a lot of time now that he's 100% healthy and getting back into game shape, working on that. That's what we were doing before he got hurt, and it kind of came to fruition today.
Did you have any sort of a game plan as to how you wanted to make up the points that Noah and TJ, being unable to play today? Did you have an idea of what you wanted, how you wanted to redistribute those points or get those points redistributed?
Howard, I wanted the guys that were in the locker room to be confident and go out there and play. I didn't make mention of those guys being out. They're both terrific players, and they help our team a lot. We know that. But I wanted the guys that were here and healthy to go out and play, with a level of confidence, and like, oh, man, we got, whatever, Noah's 17, 16 points, TJ's, 10, 11 points, whatever. We got to make up 30 points a game. No, we're not, we're just going to talk about moving the ball, sharing the ball, and playing unselfish. I showed our guys a graphic of all of our games put together, and on the graphic it had all of our wins, and the number of passes per game in our wins is a near 180, 182, something like that, right? In our losses, our number of passes is right around like 148. So when we win, we're moving it, we're sharing it, we're passing it at a much higher level than when we lose, clear as day. So go out there and put your focus on that. When we have 3 or more passes in a possession on offense, we have 3 or more, our offensive efficiency rating is like 1.1, 1.2. When we have 2 or less, it's 0.7, which is terrible, right? We got to move and pass it. We got to utilize each other. It could be our biggest strength, and we need to continue to do that going forward. So that was the message. It wasn't, hey, we got to make up these points. I wanted those guys to play unselfish and be confident.
Even with the small bench, DeAndre didn't find himself getting any minutes today. What was the reasoning behind that?
Just, one, Steady was playing terrific. We rode the Greg and Steady lineup a lot in the second half. It was giving us a really good boost. DeAndre is one of those guys that's coming off not feeling well. Really didn't get to practice outside of yesterday, so he missed a whole week. So it was just that. But again, when you guys see guys maybe not practicing or not playing in a game, a lot of times it's always going back to practice too. Like, what happened the day before? That's not a knock on DeAndre or anybody, but what's going on in practice? Right? Where's the effort in practice to say, all right, this guy's warranted a lot of minutes tomorrow?
What do you like from the Michael Stedman and Greg Jones combo down low?
I love the passion. I love the aggression, and that's been my message to Steady. Hey, man, go out and play with a level of aggression. Grab a rebound. Scream at the crowd. Block a shot. Post defense. Don't let the guy get to the middle of the floor. Their front court is. That's a good team. They won 5 games in a row, right? They're 8-3 on the year coming into this season. The only two of their losses were the first 2 of the season versus BC and Providence. Okay, and those were close games. It's not like there's a good team. It's going to be one of the better teams in the MAC, and their front court especially. Those 2 guys are terrific, and I thought Steady was outstanding today.
You talk about Javon Garcia stepping up, kind of getting past those academic troubles or whatever it may be. Now that those are kind of in the past, do you see him having more of an extended role going forward?
I hope. I want him to. But again, it's a team, and whoever's night it is that night, we want it like tonight. He was outstanding. And it wasn't shot attempts or any forced steals in the game. It was his aggression on defense. Thought he was making the right plays. Can we handle everything with a level of consistency? And if Javon Garcia can handle everything with the level of consistency, not just playing a game, everything. He's a young player. He's technically he played 15 games last year. If he can handle everything with a level of consistency, he continued to grow, continue to get better. He could be one of the best guards in the Atlantic 10.
Your team didn't have the best night from three-point lane.
No.
To be addressed. And you made an emphasis after these games saying we need to have, another game plan going to these games because sometimes the 3 balls won't be, coming down there. And you guys took out to the free throw line a lot tonight, 16 to 26 from the free throw line. Do you think your aggressiveness getting into the paint without Fernandez was what you liked it to be?
I thought C.J. Kelly, especially late in games, we put the ball in his hands. He was outstanding. Got down the lane. I thought he got fouled multiple times, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I thought our aggressiveness getting in the lane. I thought in the first half we were overhandling. We were coming off pick and rolls and trying to probe and do some things that caused us to have some costly turnovers. But then I thought, the second half, we had 8 assists in the second half, so we were much better moving it and sharing it. But, yeah, getting to the foul line and obviously Steady posting up down there was huge for us.
Last one for Coach?
Yeah.
It's funny, you just talked about the inability to not shooting three-pointers today. But then the first basket in overtime is the Rich Kelly 3 that put you up for.
He seems to make one, like a tough one every game.
It seems like even when they're not making them, this group doesn't seem to be shy about keep going.
Yeah, no question. And I thought we were teetering a little bit there. Had a turnover late in the game, minute 45 left. Ball's being raced up the floor. I probably should have called a timeout in that situation and got us organized because it was still a 2-possession game. I kind of wanted to see if we could get a quick layup, and then we turned it over. We went down and we fouled a 3-point shooter. So we were reeling a little bit. And I thought that timeout getting the focus of, hey, listen, it's still a 2-possession game. We're going to win this game. Keep battling, staying positive in that moment I thought was big. But, not flinching when we're not making shots, continuing to play the right way, being unselfish and play the right way. And we did that.
Michael, what was the kind of feeling out there for you in terms of level of comfort being able to put up 20 points today?
It was a lot to do with the practice we had this week. Everyone had great attitude and effort. It was also felt good to being out there. The touches I was having were close to the rim, and I was able to finish those shots, and I just was able to carry that out throughout the game.
Rich, it seemed like early in the game you guys just weren't really producing as well as you usually do from 3. When did it kind of become a concerted effort to attack the paint and more stay away from the three in terms of other games where the three is kind of the main priority?
Yeah, I think when we realized we weren't hitting shots tonight, a lot of our first half offensive possessions only had like one paint touch, and we weren't moving the defense enough. And in the second half, we moved the defense a couple times, and Steady got hot down low. So I think that was, once we saw him get a couple easy buckets, we're like, let's just play through him. And he did a great job, and without him today, it's definitely a different game.
Is it almost a sigh of relief that you guys didn't have the best three-point shooting night, but were able to figure out other ways to get it done, either from the free throw line or going, to you, Michael, in the post and having a lot of success down there?
Yeah, I think it just shows how dynamic our offense could be. We don't want to just be a three-point relying team. We want to be able to play inside and out. We missed a couple guys that produce from the three-point line, but also Rich is a very good shooter, but he didn't shoot a lot of threes today. He got to the basket, created opportunities for other guys, and also finished around the rim. So it was good to see that.
So you guys weren't shooting well from the three-point range, but then you hit the three in overtime. Can you walk us through what the play was or what you guys were trying to do there?
I believe that play was transition, and coach called it double drag, which is like the 4 and the 5 set a ball screen for me. And Steady set a really good screen and hit the 4-man who had switched on to me, and I just bounced it out. And they were playing drop coverage, so typically that means like he's going to stay below the level of the ball. And I knew my guy got hit. If I can drag this out, the big man's not going to step up. I can get this off.
In a situation like that, when you guys aren't shooting well, is there you still thinking, take the shot? Is there any thought at all in the back of your mind saying, look for another pass?
Me personally, I'm very confident, so I'm going to keep shooting. I think we have a lot of guys that have that same mindset, and we all have belief in them. And tonight, I think they did a great job taking away the three. I think that was an emphasis on Fairfield's behalf, and they did a good job of it, and we had to adjust, and we did so well enough to get the W.
Rich, this is the second game of the season without Noah. What have you seen from Javon when he does have these larger roles with the absence of Noah?
Yeah, Javon's a really good player. Javon started last year. I think he averaged 10 a game, so that dude can really play. We see it every day in practice, and I think he's done a great job just stepping up and fighting through the adversity of the season. And, definitely it's only going to get better and better for him. So I'm really excited to see, how the season progresses for him and overall his career.
Michael, you mentioned practice earlier this week. That was something that your coach mentioned as well. How, for both of you, do you want to answer, with guys coming in and out of practice with the flu, how were you able to keep the mindset and get the work done in practice that you needed to execute tonight?
I think it made us I know we always go hard in practice, but this week we only had 8 players, so we had to know, we really had to lock in. Us having 8 players made us realize how much harder we got to play, and it was just a really good week of practice all around. I think that it also translated to the game today as well. So,
Yeah.
Michael, how sore are you? It looked like you and Cook were just battling all day.
yeah, I know that's one of the few pros players that really seal really hard all game. So I had to fight around the screens. It took a lot of energy, but at the end we were able to dig it out. It was a rough one.
What does a 20-point game do for your confidence going forward?
Just like for any player, I think it gives a lot of confidence. I know that this is a long season. I got to continue to produce at a high level for this team. It's also just a great feeling. It's no secret I've been kind of struggling to start off the season, so having this game is going to give me an energy boost.
And I know you said, I think a week ago or so, that you weren't completely at 100% health and you were still trying to fully recover from the injury. Do you feel like you are at 100% yet or not?
Yeah, I think so. I still think I can get in a little bit better shape, but other than that, my foot feels pretty good. And, I'm just looking forward to this next game and then going into conference.
And McCall played the combination of you and Greg Jones down low for a majority of the second half and overtime. What do you like about playing with Greg Jones down low? What do you think you two kind of bring? Yeah,
Greg Jones, he's a dog, so he makes the rebounding a lot easier. He communicates very loud, so he makes the switches and the ball screens. He's just a great guy to have on the court. He's a really good energy player, and he brings a lot to our team.
You guys have one game coming up this weekend, NJIT. A little bit of a break with Christmas coming up and the holiday break, and also with finals coming over. Kind of a sense of relief you guys had in the locker room. What's kind of the message going on with the next week over?
Yeah, I think the message is finish strong. We're not we're not on Christmas break just yet, although everyone else at UMass went on Christmas break yesterday. We still have some business to take care of on Wednesday, and that's the only thing on our minds. And after that, I think we all need a well-needed 4 days off. The season can be, a little suffocating sometimes, and you're away from your family, and I think that time off will be a nice boost to everyone's morale, and it'll be great to get back. And then we're playing in the A-10, which is what everyone signed up for here, and I think we're all really excited to take on that challenge.
Going into this break and going into the final game, what are the things you and the rest of the team want to try to improve upon before heading into A-10 play?
I think definitely defense. That's something that we've kind of been harping on. We have a lot of talented offensive guys. Steady. I don't think anyone's really seen his full potential yet. You have a guy like Javon who all of a sudden he just bursts out for great games when given the opportunity. We really have a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket, and I think that just shows that we don't need to worry about that as much, and we got to worry about getting stops.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.